kind of watching a lot of white identity extremism occur and not be labeled as such. But otherwise, things are great.
Do black men have more power than black women?
Of course they do.
Why are black people so weak that they allow this to happen?
Well, I wouldn't say the question would be why are black people so weak. The question would be is why is white supremacy so diabolical and savage? Like I got time for that. Hey guys, I wanted to come on here and talk about this interview that R. Kelly did with Gayle King, and I'm gonna first say this video is not in defense of R. Kelly. There are bigger issues than sitting up here defending R. Kelly. I don't think that anyone believes that R. Kelly's actions should go without atonement. However, there is a bigger issue here, and like usual, people within our community fail to see it. Now, we've seen many, many cases since this Me Too movement began. We know that it began with a number of prominent people like Harvey Weinstein. We know Kevin Spacey has been a part of it. We know Bill O'Reilly has been a part of it. We know Stephen Collins has had allegations. No, it didn't even have allegations. He had a full-on confession. We know who is currently, based off the data, the biggest perpetuators of sexual abuse. We understand this. Yet, since the Me Too movement began, all you've seen is black men after black men after black men being paraded around as the face of this movement. I want to give a big shout out and thanks to my current Patreon supporters, and I want to provide people the opportunity, if you're looking to support the channel, to sign up and become a patron to support the channel. You do have access to exclusive content, live streams. So if you would like to support the channel, please sign up, become a patron, and support that way. Also, the Dusty Beta Male t-shirts are available, and you can purchase them if you'd like to. They are available in a multitude of different sizes and colors for both males and females, and the link to where you can get these shirts will also be included in the description box, as well as pinned to the comment section. So thanks to everyone who's a Patreon supporter. If you want to become a supporter of the channel, you can sign up via Patreon, and the link will be in the description box and pinned to the comment sections. And the Dusty Beta Male shirts are available for purchase. If they can't get them one way, they'll get them another. He doesn't have to be dead or alive. It's fine. They'll attack them and do whatever they can to shift that narrative. Now, I get that R. Kelly is right now unfavorable by a lot of people. I get that the media has a way of spinning narratives. I think that we've been known situations about R. Kelly and what he's done in the past, and I think it's really interesting, and it's indicative of how the mainstream media controls the emotions of Black people, due to the fact that these things we've said have been going on for a long time, but until these allegations of kidnapping and cults and holding people hostage came out, Black people didn't care one thing about it. They were still buying R. Kelly's music. He was still having sold out shows. There was still a large support base by both Black men and Black women. Now, since the media has come out and said, okay, Black people, now it's time to use R. Kelly to do this agenda, now we're going to jump on it. And unfortunately, just like always, Black people cannot see reality or an agenda for what it is. Now, R. Kelly did this interview with Gayle King, and I've already told you guys how I feel about Gayle King and her friend Oprah. I'm not sure why R. Kelly felt compelled to come out and say something. I'm not sure where his publicist is or what attorney was advising him, but they probably should have told him not to do this interview, because this interview was done solely for monetary purposes and to help build the case and bury this man. Now, R. Kelly is not articulate. He is not an educated man. That is very clear. Actually, to me, he presented himself in this interview much like a child throwing a tantrum. And that kind of tells me something, because when I see a lot of these rappers and athletes and entertainers, with the exception of a few of them, surprisingly, one being 2 Chainz, they're extremely inarticulate. They don't know how to communicate what they're doing, and they come off as nearly illiterate, actually. Now, and I do know some of them have been said to where they couldn't even read, extremely talented, but clearly reading wouldn't be one of those talents. Now, the way that R. Kelly presented on this interview was very, very damaging to him. And when I get into this clip, I'm only going to play a certain part of it, because to me, this is one of the most damaging things for him. Now, I understand that Gayle King and her friend Oprah are supporting an agenda. They're supporting a larger agenda, and unfortunately, in us in our community, we tend to go with these. We tend to go with them. Whatever they tell us to do, we do. However they tell us to react, we react. Whatever emotional state they tell us to go to, we accept it. They define our leaders. They define our gods. They do every single thing that we do or get engaged in or care about is under the control of the dominant society. We have no independent thought. We run around trolling all on social media, almost as if we're waiting for them to tell us the next person. They're determining our leaders and our enemies for us. And this is just acceptable. And it seems as if we just really don't learn. We haven't learned that you don't have to support the actions of R. Kelly to stay on code. Everyone else is doing it all day, every day. They're staying on code just by putting R. Kelly at the forefront of this rather than Harvey Weinstein. I had similar comments in my video on Michael Jackson because Black people simply don't get it. And the saddest thing is, later when we go to these Twitter comments, you're going to see a whole bunch of Black men making these memes, joking, laughing, making fun of it, despite the fact that this is them. You think that they're not setting the precedence to saying that if we'll go over these big people with money and celebrity and prestige, that it will be easy to get you on a mainstream? And see, the problem is that a lot of us have this fake individualistic mentality. We really have believed and given in to the false notion that somehow we're individuals, and we're not. You are not an individual in this situation. You are not. What is done to one Black man represents you as a collective. You would never be an individual. And I don't care how much they sit here and try to brainwash you. You are a collective. You don't have to accept it if you don't want to. Reality is still moving on and progressing and showing you that you are indeed a collective. So when I go on there and in one breath I hear Black men talking about feminism, oh, the Me Too movement, oh, the attack on Black men, but then I see them joining on social media and on it, it becomes a disingenuous argument. It's easy to sit up here and condone this public scrutiny of R. Kelly than it is to go do grassroots movements on other women who are falsely accusing you on a daily basis of robberies, assaults, and things that you didn't even do, making up scenarios. That's where the energy should be directed towards. But as always, we feel like, both men and women, that it is more beneficial for us to go with what the dominant narrative is rather than to use some common sense, some discernment, and some critical thinking and see an agenda when it's happening. Now, I want to play some of this R. Kelly interview. It's just going to be a certain part of it. I'm only going to play the audio. Then I'll come back and we'll go over some tweets, so I can really show you guys the lunacy behind how Black people are responding to this. Lunacy, although not surprising. But let's get into the video.
I am surprised that you agreed to do it. Why are you sitting down with us today?
I'm very tired of all of the lies. I've been hearing things and, and seeing things on the blogs, and, I'm just tired.
What are the lies that you're hearing that disturb you most?
Oh my God. All of them. Got little girls trapped in the basement, helicopters over my house, trying to rescue someone that doesn't need rescuing because they're not in my house, handcuffing people, starving people. I have a harem, a cult. I don't even really know what a cult is, but I know I don't have one,
Have you done anything that you regret? Have you done anything wrong?
Lots of things wrong. when it comes to women that I apologize. But I apologize in those relationships. At the time I was in the relationships.
Have you broken any laws when it comes to women?
Absolutely not.
The 6-part series interviewed 50 people, family members, your former tour manager, numerous women who all claim that you abused them. Yeah. Are you saying everybody in that documentary was not telling the truth about you? Everybody?
If you really look at that documentary, which I'm sure you have,
I have.
Everybody said something bad about me. Nobody said nothing good. They was describing Lucifer. I'm not Lucifer. I'm a man. I make mistakes, but I'm not a devil. And by no means am I a monster.
I'm going to name the names. Andrea Kelly, your ex-wife. Kitty Jones. Lisa Van Allen. Lisette Martinez. Geronda Pace. Faith Rogers. Asante McGee. You're saying everything they said in that documentary about you is not true.
They are lying on me.
Why would these women say the same thing about you? That you are controlling, that you are abusive, that you tell women when to eat, when to go to the bathroom, when they can sleep, where they can dress. Why would all these women tell these different stories about you if they were not true? And they don't know each other. That defies logic to me.
Right. Until you hear the explanation. You can start a rumor on a guy like me or a celebrity just like that. All you have to do is push a button on your phone and say, so-and-so did this to me. R. Kelly did this to me. And if you get any traction from that, if you're able to write a book from that, if you're able to get a reality show, then any girl that I had a relationship in the past that it just didn't work out, she can come and say the same exact thing.
Have you ever had sex
No.
with anyone under the age of 17?
No.
Never.
No.
I have to tell you, it's so hard to believe that based on all that we've read.
I'm going to tell you something, Gayle. There's one
about you.
I'm going to
What
tell
the
you
women
something.
said about you.
What women said about me. What women. So nobody's allowed to be mad at me and be scorned and lie on me.
So they're lying on you. That's your explanation. They're lying on you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
You feel that people have maligned your character?
I have been assassinated. I have been buried alive. But I'm alive.
So I think the point you're making is, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you have never held anybody against their will.
I don't need to. Why would I?
Well,
How stupid would it be for
anybody.
R. Kelly, with all I've been through in my way, way past, to hold somebody, let alone 4, 5, 6, 50, you said. Why, how stupid would I be to do that?
I didn't say you were holding.
That's stupid, guys.
I didn't.
Is this camera on me?
Yes, it's on.
That's stupid. Use your common sense. Don't forget the blogs. Forget how you feel about me. Hate me if you want to. Love me if you want. But just use your common sense. How stupid would it be for me to, with my crazy past and what I've been through, right now I just think I need to be a monster and hold girls against their will, chain them up in my basement, and don't let them eat and don't let them out unless they need some shoes down the street from their uncle.
Robert,
Stop it. Y'all quit playing. Quit playing.
Robert.
I didn't do this stuff. This is not me. I'm fighting for my life. Y'all killing me with this. I got 30 years of my career.
Robert.
30 years of my career. Y'all trying to kill me. You're killing me, man. This is not about music. I'm trying to have a relationship with my kids, and I can't do it. Y'all just don't want to believe the truth. You don't want to believe it.
Now, you guys heard that audio. So you probably heard that full-scale tantrum that he threw. And to me, again, where was his publicist? Where were, his attorneys at this time? Why just a lot? Like, does he not have anybody sitting there? Because he should have had someone sitting there with him, guiding him through those questions, rather than allowing him to just come up here and make a fool of himself. This is used as media fodder. That's why they did part of it now to rake in money, and then said, we're going to release the other part of it on Friday. We're going to do this big release expose. This is about money. Now, I agree that he's done some deplorable things. Again, I can separate that from the agenda that I see looming. I can say, yes, he deserves to be held accountable for what he's done. And then also say, well, but wait, what about the other ones? Because we don't have the same energy for that. Why is it okay for Black people to see that this being propped up and being made the face of something that you really don't do? Do you know how many stories I go across of deplorable actions against children that could be being highlighted in the media, but we let this go? We just allow them to do this and say, oh, okay, let me kiki cackle, let me get on board too, let me make these memes all over social media. And you have Black men doing it. You have Black men doing it, although it affects them. Let's get into some of these comments. Now, before we get into these, what's most interesting is that you've had a lot of Black men criticize in one breath Black women for supporting R. Kelly, which understand that it's not just hit them. Yet, in another breath, they'll sit up and say, oh, well, the Black women don't support Black men. The Black woman is used to being destroyed, Black men. Do you think that these social media, do you think that social media is not being watched as you have Black men make fun and light of this? Now, understand, nobody's saying defend him. You can just simply keep your mouth shut. You can be completely neutral to it. Because when the Harvey Weinsteins and the Stephen Collins and the Bill O'Reillys came out, you didn't see a barrage of people within the dominant society making memes and kiki and cackling and saying, oh yeah, get them, basically. Like who does that? You have OKC Thunder saying, y'all done took this R. Kelly interview to new heights. But he's doing the same thing though. Making light of it. I've seen Black male celebrities congratulate Gayle King as if she's not sitting here playing into a ploy and into an agenda. You had this dude say, I had an exclusive interview with R. Kelly. He started snapping on me. These are Black men mostly. R. Kelly out here tripping. HP Reese says, as he makes memes and make light of a situation that is going to have some effect on him. You have Drew Soglo, another Black man. R. Kelly intimidated the girl that wanted to stop the interview while it was going on. He wasn't even meant to be in the room. How is he any different than the Me Too movement? Now you have Welsh and Millie Avenue saying, I hate the internet. You have Pony Boy saying R. Kelly works hard, but the state of New Jersey works even harder. And he has Ariana Grande as his picture, so you already know where he stands. Like I've been saying before, no one does more damage to the reputation of the Black male than the Black male himself. Drew Soglo again. Azriel says that when she was 17, her parents made her take sexual pictures and videos with R. Kelly so that they could use it to extort him at a later stage. She says that's what her parents have been trying to do. Of course, nobody's going to listen to her. She was in the situation, but you guys have to focus on get R. Kelly, not understand that you're basically saying get Black men. And you should be saying get Stephen Collins, get Harvey Weinstein, get Kevin Spacey. But you don't want to do this. This is why I say I don't want to hear Black men talk about this Me Too movement. I don't want to hear you talk about your plight. I don't want to hear you talk about anybody targeting you, because based on this, you're doing it to yourselves. Marina Fang said, according to Gayle King, R. Kelly stood off camera while his two girlfriends defended him in the interview, interjecting with coughs and attempts to cut off the conversation. Now, she could have just went and watched it herself and gained her own opinion of it. And of course, they're going to turn someone defending him into some insidious intent, because ultimately they already have their agenda. Ashley Redson said R. Kelly's publicist Daryl Johnson just held an impromptu press conference in the lobby of Durston Federal Courthouse. His team is working on getting him out today. I think by the end of the day, it'll happen no longer than tomorrow. Now, the interesting thing of it is his publicist was trying to get him out on child support. Now they just put some new charges on him in Detroit. And you guys still don't see what the agenda is. How? How do you still not see what it is? And can't connect the dots between what this is and how this is going to affect you on a lower level, whether you feel like you've done something or not. So where is the intelligence? Where is the foresight that we will be using? Where is this discernment that we say that we have? Shizzy Duro is saying, R. Kelly, pack your bags and get ready for jail. And she thinks that this is okay. This is funny to her. But this same, where are these tweets about Stephen Collins and Harvey? Where are the ones about all of them? That's what I would like to know. Sheena is saying, y'all, please don't put out no more R. Kelly memes. I cannot breathe for laughing so hard. Again, and you guys think that people don't see this, how off cold you are? Again, nobody's saying that you have to defend them, but you have to put all this and talk about how you support agendas against your people. You have to advertise that all over social media. Again, disagree with his actions, feel like he should be held accountable. I feel that way too. You will never see me on social media displaying it though. That's part of the code. She went and found the Dave Chappelle clip. Black with No Chaser said, who mixed R. Kelly with Trinidad James, fam? Why are y'all like this? Oh my God, I want that puppy. I really want that. I want this little puppy, this baby pit bull. I want it so badly. But anyway, it's really the cutest thing ever. I love pit bull puppies. They're just too cute. Bernard said it's not too late for the R. Kelly interview memes yet. Do you see how ridiculous? Like, who does this? Who does this? And if you disagree with this, which that's fine. If you disagree with this, show me one other group of people who do this. Show me. You have HuffPost Black Voices saying 2 of the women living with R. Kelly insist they are not being held against their will. Well, why can't y'all just accept what they're telling you and move on? 6'4" King, he called himself a king, said Jocelyn and Azriel have turned against their mother and father to defend R. Kelly. What if they're just telling the truth? Because when I watched the docuseries, I didn't believe any of those adult women were being held captive. And anybody who watches it with impartiality and objectivity will be able to analyze it and say, yeah, no, they haven't even mentioned how they were being victimized, how they were being held captive. Nobody does this. The system cannot work without us, and unfortunately on autopilot we do this. Nobody even has to tell you to do this. On autopilot we do it. On autopilot. Because that's how our mindset is wired, to where we believe that this behavior is productive. We will do this, not understand the consequences of it, then complain about the consequences of it later. We see everybody else operating differently, getting different results, but we still stick to the same counterproductive behavior, and that is on us. That's on us. Because when you co-sign the oppression of and the targeting of one person in your group, you're targeting it with everybody, because you're not an individual. You don't get the benefit of individuality. Just because it hasn't happened to you yet don't mean that it couldn't. Because anything that you do can be demonized. Same way it's been done to Michael Jackson. He's not even alive to defend himself. But y'all are just okay. And the fact that his name is Pootie Tang makes me question everything about him. Saying y'all ain't giving R. Kelly a chance. Again, everybody laughing it up. But the minute it makes that detrimental trickle-down effect onto mainstream people, y'all are going to have a problem. The minute that you see a situation with somebody you like, somebody who you feel like didn't do anything, whether right, wrong, or indifference, the minute that you see that, you're going to be screaming, yep, oppression over there, oppression targeting over there, but you condoned it. Because you said it was okay for them to focus on you and exempt other people. You said that that was okay. You laughed and kikied and was happy when it was happening to R. Kelly. You didn't see the bias in it. You didn't see the double standard and the fact that you have all these other people, some of them who have admitted to what they're doing. No indictment yet. No indictment on their side yet. Since this movement has started, you haven't seen one man within a dominant society indicted. Not one of them. But get R. Kelly. Get Jussie Smollett. Make sure they stand in atonement for what they've done. As if you can't have both arguments at the same time. And rather than saying, get R. Kelly, say, get them all. You have celebrities like Shonda Rhimes sitting up here congratulating Gayle King. Oprah with her treasonous actions over. Why is she even bold enough to say that? Probably because y'all haven't gotten on her hard enough. But then how can you get on her if you're doing the same thing? You have Black Bowie Hybrid talking about R. Kelly trying to defend himself. Does he not have the right to? It says R. Kelly's artist described watching him perform acts on her 14-year-old niece on multiple Why would you sit there and watch him do that, though? She needs to be indicted too then. She needs to do it too then if she sat there and watched. I mean, and they just go on and on. Black men doing it. Face shot at LLC. New club banger. Killing me. He thinks this is fire. Men in the community who are always screaming out feminism, Me Too, targeting us, we're victims. All on social media doing this, victimizing themselves, not even intelligent enough to see it. Nobody else would do this. Nobody would do this. I really can't even think of not one group of people who would do this. But I'm going to leave it here because, like always, when have Black people learned? We haven't learned yet, and I don't think that we will learn. I don't. I think that we will continue to be in this self-destructive state. I think the mindset is not right, and it's sad. Because we talk so much about what's going on in society and how it's affecting us, but we do nothing to deter it. In fact, we do everything that we can to maintain it and aid it and help it along. You guys let me know what you think. Thank you for your support. Like, comment, subscribe, share the video. I'll see you in the next one.